Okay, we are here on June 27th, believe it or not, 2018, with three of the, what we'd like to think of one of the early founders of Templeton. We're going to let them introduce themselves. Greg O'Sullivan and Jeff English are the moderators. And so what I'm going to first ask is I'm going to ask Cecil to introduce yourself. Let us know your birth date. And by the way, first of all, just for legal reasons, is it okay if we record this?
Yeah.
And we have permission.
We have permission
to
to
show
use
it to
it.
other people. So.
Okay, Cecil, if you'll start out talking about your family, when you were born, things particular about the Gambels.
I'm Cecil Gambel of Templeton, California. I was born here January the 14th in 1927, right across from the park and near the firehouse. And, my father was born in 1896 up at York Mountain. And relation, if you want that part on there. And then my great-grandfather started York Mountain, a winery. So the family came through, I imagine, through this area before there was even Templeton, because they came from the Civil War and stopped in Arebello, Iowa, and had our name changed, which it used to be spelled G-A-M-B-L-E, and there's one of them that's religious, and so he didn't like it, so he G-A-M-B-E-L. And so then they went over to the coast, San Luis for a while, then come back over York Mountain, then come back to Templeton. And I don't know what year that was, but some of the earlier ones, about the time the railroad come through, 1885.
So your great grandfather started York Mountain or worked there?
No, he started York
He
Mountain.
actually started York Mountain.
Yeah, started York Mountain, yeah. Andrew York. And then, so.
And married?
Myself?
No, I know. Your wife's name and your kids' names.
Well, one of the best things that ever happened to me, I was coming home from World War II and I got off at Harry Hewitt's up here, and a friend of mine, Roy Owings, happened that he got out of the service just as I did, or just a little before, and he says, "I'll take you home, but on one condition." And I says, "What's that?" He says, "A new girl moved in town, and you got to meet her." Of course, I knew everybody in town. And it was across from Tom German's there, the Fountain Cafe, and so then I hung around there for 2 days, and you can only eat so many hamburgers and so many milkshakes, and so I went to work after that, and then we went together for a while, and we was married in 49.
And her name?
Alma, yeah, she's a Roland.
Okay.
Her name is Roland, yeah. And, so.
And I know you have some kids, I don't know.
I had a daughter, Debbie, but she passed away here a while back. And I have Dennis, and lives near Joaquin, and then Eddie, who lives across the street from Joaquin. So, in fact, Joaquin lives in my grandparents' house. So I hope that's enough for now.
And your siblings, because I know, can you list your siblings, your brothers, sisters?
I had one brother,
Okay.
Harlan Campbell, born in the same house I was up there by the firehouse in Templeton.
Did Harlan move away, or he would
Yeah, he
spend his life here?
No, he spent a lot of the time here, and when he was in the military, then retired from the military, and then moved back to, I don't know, he jumped around quite a bit.
Okay.
He was a pilot in the Navy. He served in Korea and Vietnam.
Okay.
And Joaquin? Same thing. Tell your family's history and when you came to Templeton. And
I came to Templeton with my parents when I was in the 3rd grade. We came from Bitterwater. My dad worked on one of the ranches out there somewhere. And when we got here, I don't, as far as year goes, I don't know what year it was. and we just stayed here.
You say Bitterwater, you're talking about out Shandon, Creston
Yeah.
area? Okay.
Yeah, Salam area, yeah.
Yeah.
But you were born here in Templeton.
No, I was born in Posel.
Hozo, okay. And your family?
I don't know. As far as I know, my mom was born in Posel, but my dad, I don't really know where he was born.
Okay. But he was a ranch hand out there in Bitterwater.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about your wife and your children?
My wife is from Pasarolas. We've been married 62 years, June the 10th.
Oh, it's just,
And he remembers that. That's a good thing.
he had to, it's on recording.
And I got 5 kids. One of them that's the oldest boy. I have one daughter older than him, and another son, Danny, and a daughter Diane, and a daughter Danette. Danette lives in Oregon. Diane lives in Nipomo, and Debbie lives in Sacramento.
But your 2 boys are still here in town or nearby.
Oh yeah, actually they've been taking turns taking care of the wife right now.
Okay.
My wife's not too good a shape, so they've been rotating to come in and spend a week. And,
What about brothers and sisters for you?
yeah.
Did you have brothers and sisters?
There was 7 of us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How long am I gonna go there? I'm the oldest. Come
Okay.
to think about it.
You didn't say when were you born?
34.
1934, okay.
And let's see, I've lost 1 sister and 1 brother. And I got a sister in Oregon, and 2 of them live right over here on Theater Drive.
Mhm.
Theater, and a brother lives over here next to me. I think that's all of them.
Okay, well, I forgot to ask, follow up. I want to ask I know you were in the tow business. When I got here 20 years ago, you were in the tow business. Has that been your employment for
No, I retired out of the labor's union. And I stayed home for about a month, and I said, this ain't gonna work. I got money in my pocket, I better go out and do something. And I started that.
how long ago was that?
I ended up doing it for 22 years.
22, so you started right before I got here then.
Yeah,
So the trucks that say Joaquin's on it, that was yours?
yeah, I gave it to my little brother.
Okay.
He's running it now.
Okay.
Okay, good deal.
And Cecil, I didn't ask you, what did you do in the honest part of your living? You want to talk about the stuff that's illegal, but what did you do for an honest income?
Well, I always wanted to be a farmer, and I started out with Al Horseman down here for 50 cents a day, which I think Bobby will verify that he paid high wages then. And and then finally I worked at different places, and then when I was 15 years old, I saved up enough money to buy a tractor, and which one of our school teachers, Don Stockdale, was always helping me out, when it broke down and everything. And so I gave a lot of credit to Don. And then I was bought some property in Templeton in 49, and he came over to me and says, how's the old tractor running? I said, I'm not worried about that. I said, I've finally got some good soil. I'm going to be a farmer. And he looked at me and he said, do you realize what you did? You bought some property in the middle of town. That's going to be more valuable than any farming you're ever going to do, he said. So,
And he was right.
and he was right. And then I have the tractor sitting there at home, and about, I don't know if you call it, Joaquin, I don't think you hauled, or you hauled a tractor. Did you haul the tractor over from my place? Or no, it was.
Yeah, I did.
You hauled it over there, and then my son and I halfway fix it up, and it costs more to fix the darn thing up than it did originally paid for the thing. And it's my pride and joy, I got it sitting there and everything, so. And then, one thing I didn't mention, that I lost my wife 3 years ago, and we had, with happy, I personally was happy, 68 years and marriage.
So where was the property that you bought? Is it near your home currently?
It's near the gas station up on Forest Street,
Okay.
right down from the gas station down
So Florence and all those
the
streets.
Florence and Forest to go
Yeah.
through
You
there.
got a bunch of them. I used to have to gale out a weed abatement every year.
Well, I shouldn't say this. I've also kept all the weeds down. This
Yeah,
one
no,
kind of
I'm
embarrassing
just kidding.
Because I fell off the tractor here a while back. My son keep gonna take the keys away from me. Not really.
So Bobby, just introduce yourself briefly. We do have you on another tape, but just a brief background, Bob Miller Grill, just real quick.
Bob Miller. I born and raised here. Started out on 7th Street, ended up on 1st. Still there, 86 years in the same street. And I started Miller Drilling Company in 1960. Sold it 2 months ago.
And for what it's worth, Bob started this series of interviewing people back in '93,
93.
and now we're continuing
Yeah.
it. So,
That was
It's really funny. We never thought it would pay off like this, but we had visions of it. It would clarify a lot of things.
it does, well, what we did talk about, the reason why there's 3 of you here, because you all gotta agree on the lie, or you're gonna
I
keep
got
it.
to tell a lie.
Okay.
Cecil Gambel shot the cannon off. Do you ever hear that?
Really?
You remember that? But I got to confess, I don't know who did it.
Oh, thanks, well, thanks. I've been catching hell all these years and I fired the cannon off.
I can remember when it happened. I blew the hedge down across the street.
It blew the head, didn't they put the chain in the cannon?
Put the chain in the cannon, tore the hedge down.
Oh, God. Shane?
And he's been blaming me all these years.
So is that why it's capped with concrete?
Yeah, right.
And you see a
Yeah.
big crack down the
Yeah.
inside. And then it filled it full of cement.
Oh, no kidding.
Thank you, Bobby. I have good rest tonight when
Now,
I go to bed.
I think you got to talk about Al Horseman. This is Al Horseman's house.
Oh, yeah,
Lived
yeah.
in it.
Yeah, we're
And we rode teaming horses from where the hospital is, Holland Hay.
Yeah, 50 cents a day.
I want to clarify, he did say he wanted to tell a lie. So, before he's told that story, he said,
I get that off my chest. I've used that. I get almost believed it.
He's been telling us so many years that he actually believed it.
Well, I tell you what I was told, and I don't know, he was, Lloyd Holloway said he was the one that shot it off.
He could have been. He wasn't the best kid in the world.
Well, he wasn't the best adult in the world.
No, he was almost as bad as Whipple and I.
In Arlen.
So you remember American Legion? You served?
In my service?
Yes.
Yeah, I was in the Army.
Army. What years?
World War II. No, I was only in 18 months.
Okay.
They dropped the bomb, and then I served over Japan a year, and come on back home.
Okay. Thank you for your service. Did you guys any military service?
2 years Navy,
2 years Navy. What years?
52 to 54.
Okay. Joaquin. Okay. Joaquin. In fact, I'll come back to Arlen too. The name Arebello. There's a lot of Arebello's monuments and things that I've seen as fire chief, and I can't tell you where they all are. Is there just one Arebello family, and it's just extended, or is it like the Rossies, where there's a lot of Rossies and not really
Yeah,
related?
see, I don't really know. I never followed up on any of this
Okay.
stuff. And I have one sister in order. She's pretty up on all of this stuff, the background of the family.
Uh-huh.
And, I should have called her before
Yeah.
I came, but I've never been involved in stuff like that.
In the history part,
I
okay.
just been here. That's it.
So we want to talk a little bit about your memories as a person growing up here, school year, high school. Maybe you can take us back you all went to Templeton schools. Cecil, tell us where you went to school, maybe some of your teachers, did you participate in sports?
Yeah. I started in the first grade and ended up graduating out of high school in 40. Started in 1932, I believe, in the first grade, and then 1944 on that. And then played sports, basketball, but then there were more time that they cut all transportation down, and we just didn't have hardly any sports in that. So I missed out on really the sports end of it.
That was your high school years.
Yeah, my high school year, yeah, on that, yeah. And,
Did you graduate?
yes,
Oh, what year?
44,
44.
1944, yeah. I think, I don't know, I'm just checking up, I think I'm the last survivor right now.
Oh, the 44 class?
44 class, yeah. There's 15 of us in our class when they graduated, and in the junior year, it was a big class, but that was during wartime, and a lot of the kids went into service. You know, you get a new pair of shoes and 3 square meals a day, and it was during the depression part. And so our classes, when I was a senior, was small. I was on the young end of it.
So then you went into the military right after high school?
Yeah, right after, as soon as I turned 18, within 3 months I went into the service, yeah. On that, yeah.
Well, I tell you, some things don't change. My boys could not wait to get out of Templeton when they graduated from high school, so they were ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh, your brother Arlen, you guys were both on the fire department, and so I want to.
Yeah.
And what I heard a story once is that when the original Legion Hall burnt, he ran in and got a lot of the old memorabilia during that fire and got it all out. Is there truth to that? Do you know anything about it?
No, it's my father that did that.
Your father?
Ori Gambel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he, I don't know if he borrowed an axe from the fire department or not, and,
Okay.
and went in, and then I think that they sprayed water on him or something to keep him cool, and then he brought out
All the stuff that's, a lot of the stuff that's
it's still in
displayed.
there. I think that's right. I don't know, maybe more. Oh, it's a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah, on the things.
So why weren't you two guys members of our fire department back then?
I was too busy.
Too busy making money?
I was working.
Oh.
Just trying to make money.
So, of course, it's already in the history of how long I was a fire chief, too. You remember?
Yep.
You remember the story of that? That was 3 or 4 days that they was having a little discussion there, and the keys went up in the air, and I caught them, so I was a fire chief. But I didn't have a telephone, so they took the keys away from me, and somebody else was fire chief.
Well, there wasn't a lot of phones back then anyway, so it kind of narrowed the field a lot.
The funny thing, though, somebody told that story down the donut shop a while back. Well, why didn't you get a cell phone? I said, what? Yeah, no, really.
Probably haven't got one now.
Yeah, well, I don't know how to run the damn thing.
Joaquin's school? You went to the school system here?
Went to school from the 3rd grade to high school.
Okay.
Finished high school.
You graduate what year?
Graduated 54, I think.
54. Okay. And what kinds of activities did you participate in school? Sports,
No,
music?
I was a pretty small little guy.
Yeah.
I wasn't too good at sports at all, with any of them. I played a little bit, but I wasn't one of the big boys.
Well, you guys, when you went to school here, you said Stockdale. Stockdale was kind of a big guy, you know, popular guy or good guy in you all know Stockdale?
Oh, yeah, Don taught, the class that he taught was in the shop.
Right.
Because he was a shop, school mechanic. Took care of all the buses and all of that stuff. And he also had a class. And of teaching kids, tried to teach them mechanic stuff, you know.
Did you take that class?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
The only class I ever got a grade out of.
Everybody has their forte.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, his father worked there too at the school.
that's right, yeah.
Yeah, he worked there as janitor and lived there for years there.
Your father or Stockdale's father?
Stockdale.
Okay, so- okay.
Yeah.
So Joaquin, when your parents came to Templeton, what did your dad do then?
I think when we first got here, he was out at Camp Roberts when they were doing a lot of building out there.
Okay.
And then he did a little farming on his own. Then he went into the construction business. And, just kind of bounced around. He passed away when he was 61 years old.
Young.
Yeah, too young, way too
Yeah.
young. Yeah.
So right after high school, then what did you do? What was your first job?
What did I do? I think I worked for Hayward Lumberyard for a couple of years, and then went into the construction. My dad got me started on that, so that's where I went. And I stayed here for 27 years.
And you were in laborers union doing
In laborers
construction work.
Bob, when did you graduate from high school?
52.
52. Okay, so there's a little bit of a span. Did you guys know each other in high school?
Oh, yeah. We did a lot together. You haven't said anything yet.
Okay, let's not go there.
I think it's important to go there.
So that's a good. Tell us about any pranks or
Remember
trouble you caused.
Remember pulling tires?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Tell us about pulling tires.
Everybody pulled tires.
That was people would say, "Pulling tires." Now what could that be? Well, where the school was at, you got that bank down here on the main road. Right. We'd come over here at Henry Hovey's and get some old drain oil, put it on top of a tire, one side of the tire. We'd set it down there by the road and tie a rope on it. We'd be up here on this side of the fence. Car would come by, stop, grab a hold of that tire, get oil. Oh, we did that for so many years. Every once in a while, the first car would be a cop car. That's all you see is dust. Guys running across the field.
So Bob, did you participate in that?
Oh, yeah, I
You
did.
did that a few times.
Remember Henry Hovey's Coke machine?
Yeah.
What was that?
Henry Hovey's Coke machine, you put your arm up in there and get a Coke out. It's the way to go celebrate.
After you put the money in?
No, money. We did good until Henry put a cactus up in there. Right there. He probably got some little thorns in it.
So where was that Coke machine?
Right across the street.
Right across the street from here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was a machine too, the lid lifted up and you could take the cap off and get a long straw and drink all you wanted around this thing.
I remember those machines. I never did that,
I
but
did.
Wait, at Henry Hovey, then Ed Hovey, his brother, was inside the machine shop.
Yeah.
So this would be a good opportunity. Take us on when you were in high school. Walk us down Main Street. Tell us about what was there. Where did you go? What shops were there? What families ran them? Let's start down at Vineyard and work our way back up. You remember, Cecil, if you can remember some of the stores?
Well, the station is up there now. I worked for Walter Larson there. In school days, worked there.
The Shell station, wasn't it?
That's the station with the burger shop.
Where the
now?
burger shop is now, I worked there. Of course, American Legion Hall was built in 1925, before my time. And then come down the street, and then there was Larson Bakery there, and Hans Larson had that. And as I remember as a kid, bread was 9 cents a loaf, and she would send me down there, never with a dime, but either 5 cents or 4 cents, and he was, it was a bar there too. And, he was also a jokester, and finally they raised the price of the bread up to 10 cents, and and says, tell your parents that, and I didn't tell them because y'all told me a joke is, you know. And finally, I think my dad owed him an extra 5 cents and come down there, and so my dad says, why did you say? Well, I thought he was having a joke, and then I did learn the facts of life there too, that where the bar was there, that they had these punch boards come in one day where they had a shotgun or some kind of gun up there where you punch out. And just as I got in there, the first day, just I went in, some guy pushed that and won the shotgun. And old Hans says, what am I gonna do now? The punch board isn't worth 10 cents with that. So the guy just promised he didn't leave the gun up there, so you learn fast.
So that was a lottery.
Yeah, just like the lottery. Yeah.
So where was the bakery in relation to the current building there at that location?
It's,
You had Sharp's building there somewhere.
well, Sharps is on this side of the street, and my dad worked in Sharps there when he was young boy. It was about halfway between AJ's and the other was down there. And then there was a post office there.
And then they had the candy cafe.
Yeah, on that, and then there's Eddie and Horseman building there where AJ is now, I believe that was the name of it. And on the vacant corner, there was a barber shop there.
Where their parking lot is?
Where the parking lot is, the barber's, I had my first haircut there, and his name was Lang, and then Harry Hewitt's. And then right straight across the street was Marker and Sharp.
We had a K&A cafe there.
Huh?
Remember the K&A cafe
Yeah,
next to Peterson's?
yeah.
It's still there.
Oh,
A K&A.
K&A, yeah, okay. Then across the street was the brick builder there. My father works there after out of World War One, and a guy named Bartlett had a drugstore there.
Is that where the bus stop is now? There's a little bus stop there next to the feed and grain.
No, that's just this building there was where it was. What's who's there now? Uno's or Nuno's?
Nuno's.
Oh, Nuno's, yeah, restaurant.
Nuno's.
Nuno's. And then later on, later in life, my uncle put a pool hall in there, and had a pool hall. And then you come down the street to the Charlie Johnson's place down there, and as a kid we'd go in there, and I bought my first Bull Durham tobacco there. I'm not a smoker, but it didn't get me started, I thought. In fact, Joaquin, I think was Tom Bach a relation to you?
Yeah.
Okay, it was Tom. I used to watch him up on the horse and how he could roll that with one hand, the tobacco thing. I said, oh, gosh, I'm gonna try that. So I stole 5 cents out of my piggy bank and went down and got the thing from Charles Johnson. He'd sell anything to you. Got her to the Toad Creek Bridge and never got a cigarette out of it. And I finally, the only thing that was left was the paper. And I wrapped the paper up and licked the paper and all of a sudden just burnt my nose. So that was my end of the day smoking. And then, how far? If I come down, you're gonna continue that, Bobby?
Yeah. What do you remember, Joaquin?
Like
So I guess we're
we're.
at Peterson's or Hewitt's.
Yeah, it's well, okay, it's on the other side of the street too.
You know, the feed and grain was there, and
No, there was
it was a car dealer.
car dealership.
Car dealership, and then there was, right after
There
that,
was a
there's
car
a,
dealership? Remember that?
Before your
a
time.
little hot dog place there, cause I remember as a kid there, I'd watch them and they'd come out with a hot dog, God, I wanted one of those. And then that guy that run that, right across the street there where the Fountain Cafe is, that he started the Fountain Cafe there, and then there was, can't think of the guy's name right there, and that's where I met my wife, right across the street there.
There's a bar right there too in the war. What was that bar right next to the, by Flores, by the,
Well, it was a rough one.